Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new episode of the Irish Wrestling Podcast. We are back for a brand new episode to look ahead to this Sunday's OTT Sanity Show. Aptly named Sanity because the three members of Sanity, Eric Young, Big Damo, and Axel, will be in the house facing Renzo Rose, Ilja, Zarkov, and the Samy in a big match for all six competitors. But I think it's going to be a big match for the three Irish-based lads who are going to have to deal with the craziness of Sanity. Colin is back with us for another episode. Colin, how are things?
Yeah, good. I think the lads might be a bit overshadowed on Sunday in stature and yeah, big uphill battle to say the least. But
Yeah.
yeah, buzzing for Sunday. Really looking forward to it. Massive show ahead. As I've said on previous shows, I'm a big advocate for these show before the stadium shows.
Mm-hmm.
Just you don't know what to be expecting. You don't know what's going to happen. There's still a lot to be set up
Yeah.
going into Scrapper weekend. In saying that, we had some massive news today.
Yes.
Um,
Let's talk about that news first of all. That is massive implications for Scrappermania, for the main event, for the title, for the future of the draw. Be Cool and Sammy D sat down with Ingo to talk about the future of who's going to be challenging Trent. Even though Be Cool won the Rumble, guaranteeing him a shot at Trent, that's now up in the air as
yeah,
Trent, or sorry, Sammy D and Be Cool have accepted an 8-man tag match at Scrappermania.
Sammy's fucking won the lotto here, hasn't he?
He
Like he
suckered
really
him in,
has.
isn't he? He
Yeah,
suckered him in.
absolutely. Like for reference, let's just clear things up. The interview started by Ango with Be Cool saying that
Yes.
Joe Gabriel has decided to give Be Cool his championship match at
Mm-hmm.
Scrappermania against Trent Seven.
Yeah.
Um, B then interrupted to say, Joe didn't give me anything. Joe's never given me anything. I earned this match. I
He
earned
did.
my championship match by winning the local rumble. So let's get
Hmm.
that one straight for a start. Which I think is it's the right thing to say because like let's be fair, like Joe didn't give him anything. If anything, Joe
Yeah.
tried to take it away from him.
Tried. He was sure didn't Barry eliminate him from the Rumble. He tried his
Yeah,
best.
that's what I mean. He
He tried to
inserted
force him
himself
just to
into the
step over the
match.
rope, and Joe wanted
Yeah.
a title shot with Trent at Scrappermania. Like, talk about putting yourself over, Joe.
Yeah, that Carly Simon song comes to mind.
And
When
Mick
when
Jagger
I
in the
think about
background.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, like so we got interrupted then by the snake who had no business being there, but with an agreement in place that the guys were just gonna have a chat and
Hmm.
talk and not get physical in any way that Sammy could sit down as well. So a quick restart by a very professional Angus McAnally. He's never
Nobody
anything
better in the
but
business. There's
yeah,
nobody better at it.
absolutely. The two guys started talking and Sammy wormed his way in and
Hmm.
I don't know how, why, but Barry agreed to Barry offered. He
Yeah, it
offered
was his
uh,
idea.
yeah, he offered a match with Sammy. He says that Sammy will have to go. He can get into the match, but he has to go through him. Now I don't know. Is it to get into the match or is it to replace Barty in the match?
Um,
Was that cleared
I
up?
don't think that was clear, but
Yeah, I'd have
yeah.
to.
As an injustice to Irish wrestling OTT, everyone knows at Scrappermania, it should be Sammy D versus Trent Seven. I love it. I love that idea. And if you want that match with Trent Seven, you have it. But you're going to have to earn it. You're going to have to beat me at Scrappermania.
We're now looking at an 8-man tag, the draw versus Team Be Cool, #1 title contendership on the line for a fight against OTT World Champion Trent Seven later that night. My friends, this looks set to be electric. Join us for Scrappermania at the National Stadium, Dublin.
Anyway, we have Sam said to Barry, it's you just remember Barry, it's 4-on-1. There's four of us, there's one of you. And he says, well, you bring your four lads, he says, and I'll bring our four. And agreement seems to be in place that it's going to be a 4-on-4 at Scrapper the night in Dublin, and then the winner of whatever Falling Four, whether it be Barry's team or Sam's team, will go on to the main event, or will Sam be added? I think it's the winner will go on to the main event,
Yeah.
to face Trent. But like, even if, right, this is where it's really silly by B Kill. Even if he manages to do the impossible and beat the draw, the most dominant
Hmm.
team that we've had in Irish wrestling in ever.
More than the
Even
words.
if he does that and he wins, how much is he going to take out of himself then going into that match with Trent? And like, how, like, he handicaps himself going into that match then.
Hmm.
The other thing is, and the last thing that we got was that Barry said to Sam, after we thought everything was done, that if his team wins, that's the end of the draw. The draw is gone. It's done. It's finished. So there's massive
Hmm.
implications in this, and I'm here for it.
Well, let's
It's gonna be such a mad
let's
night.
let's
Like,
talk about some of the elephants that are currently in the room regarding the draw. At the minute that we know of, Jay and Charlie Sterling aren't 100%. We don't know if they're
Jay is fucked. I don't know how he's gonna be able to compete.
we don't know if they're going to be cleared by Scrappermania. I'm presuming
I think
Charlie's
like
not going to be right.
Charlie's a bit further along though, isn't he? Like,
He was set well, it was supposed to be 9 months, and
well,
it hasn't been nine
he
months.
whipped the knee brace off at the
Mm,
last show, didn't he? So presumably he's in better shape than he was, and we're still a month away. So that, like, I'm presuming Charlie is okay, but Jay fucked his arm.
mm-hmm.
Like, as far as I know, I'm not sure if he's had his surgery or he's only had his surgery, but like, there's no way he's gonna be like anywhere near fit enough to compete properly in a match. Does that favor Team Barry, knowing that someone is in the match that's injured?
Is Jay going to be 100% on the side of the draw? He didn't seem happy with
I
how
think
things went.
I think that question is open to everybody though. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like, you're saying, will Jay be on the side? What
The
about
flex,
Flex?
yeah.
What about Flex? Flex was the one who was adamant that he wasn't. The only one who seemed to be on side was Charlie. You know, so it's definitely one of them that, like, it is the draw's house in order, you know? Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Let's briefly fantasy book who you think will be on Barry's team. Is there
Yeah.
anybody off the top of your head now that you think 100% he needs to be part of that team?
There was two names that came to head immediately, like immediately, straight
Hmm.
off the bat. One of them is Angel Cruz, a former tag team partner of BQ, and the other one who has a lot of history with both guys, is Justy.
Yes, Justy. That's my pick. I
So
was like,
like,
yes.
they're the two names that came to head absolutely immediately. As for a third, I don't know. Like, what I'd like to see is, I'd like to see people from Barry's past and or Sammy's past, which we have with Justy and Angel.
Hmm.
So I'm trying to think, who did Sammy like really fuck over? You know,
Everybody,
everybody
everybody
exactly. But
is the snake.
I'm trying to think, is there one big standout? You know, and that's where I'm struggling to is there one person who wants to exact revenge on him, like, to that extent.
I
So
could think of a lot. I can like maybe Damien Carvin, Big Damo. There's he he's got a lot of
Marby,
possibly Scotty Davis. Maybe is he might be thrown in that picture. He's
yeah,
going to need a match at Scrappermania as well. Like I'm not sure
yeah.
if he'd
There's
fit in with Team Be Cool, like, but
mm,
they might need somebody with a bit more serious, a bit more of a serious side. If Justy and Barry are going to be on the same team, they're going to need somebody to control the pace of the match.
yeah. There's one other that to be honest, I don't want to know, You know, I
Oh no,
don't I,
no.
like. I think so. The thing is that we know is that Scrappermania is selling really, really well this
Mm.
year. I think that the latest we heard was like 1,900 tickets sold. There's like 300 tickets left, or less than 300 tickets left. The queue, fucking go and get your tickets,
Yeah.
obviously. But like there's less than 300 tickets left. So I don't know if Joe and OTT need to announce any competitors in this. I'd love if they just left it till the night. Or maybe one on Sunday. I'd love to see one on Sunday and then leave like a couple of question marks. Like, but I will throw out a name that I'm literally shooting in the dark here as well. But I think it could make sense and it could line up if things go that way. The fourth member being Joe.
Joe Cabray.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah. I don't
Why?
it's a bit outlandish. It's a bit maybe Joe inserts himself in and says, well, I'm gonna be on your team and I'm gonna try fuck you up from the inside. Or do we see we know that Joe and Barry have been friends in the past. We know that like Barry's been the bane of Joe's
Mm.
existence as well for a long time.
Well, he doesn't want him to be champion, does he?
But he jumped. But remember when Barry had his retirement match?
Hmm.
Like who came down for the save? You know, like who tried to help Barry through every bit of that? You know, who got the fallout from that with Sammy D? It was all Joe. You know, so maybe just maybe there's still
Hmm.
something there to get Joe into that match.
There is.
Yeah, again,
It's
I don't think that one's as plausible as the
no.
others,
Uh,
but I think Angel and Justy would be really, really
you're
good.
not expecting any imports to be on Barry's side anyway,
Oh,
are
listen, I'm expecting everything. You know, like
you?
I'm absolutely expecting everything. I don't think anything is out of the question.
Hmm.
It's just a matter of what direction Barry is going to go in as well with it, you
Oh,
know, like so.
they're obviously going to go down the Daniel Bryan WrestleMania 30 route where he has to go through. Like it would have been cool if he had to go through Joe to get to the main event, and Sammy and Trent were in the main event. If they turned
Yeah,
it
yeah.
into a triple threat and he
Mm.
went off and won it, and that would have been a cool way to do it. But this is something similar where it's possible that he's going to have to go through all this just to get to the main event and be
Sorry,
not be
there's
100%.
the other flip side. There's the other flip side. Jay and Charlie are both injured that we know of, so maybe Joe takes one of their places in the draw. Do we see that side coming out as well?
Well,
You
there
know,
you go. There.
listen, there's so many possibilities. I wouldn't be surprised if it's three random people that are with Barry as well. Anything is open, but I think I'd like to see some throwbacks.
Mhm.
I'd like to see some throwbacks and some callbacks to Sammy's previous reign of terror
Mhm.
as OTT champ and get into the championship, and also maybe some throwbacks to even further beyond that. And if they can bring in, I think Justy would be the perfect candidate because he has history with both guys.
Yeah,
He
everybody.
he was
He has
he was
history with everybody.
yeah, but like he was the third member of the gymnasties. You
Yeah.
know, Sam and Barry were tag team champs as gymnasties. Justy was the mentor, the guide for those two younger guys, you know. Justy, even as at a young age at the time, was the veteran of the
Hmm.
group, you know, and the mentor for those two coming through and had that massive impact on both guys at an early stage. So I think Justy would be I think if Justy isn't in that team, I think I'd be disappointed.
Yeah, I would be
You know?
disappointed too. It's
So
the one that was hanging us has to be Justy, right?
yeah.
Has to be. Yeah,
It just makes the most sense. But
does.
again, if there's three random guys thrown in as well, it wouldn't surprise me. But I don't think it wouldn't have the same impact, you know?
No, no. While we're on the subject of Be Cool, before we get into the Sanity Show, Barry actually won another Rumble at the weekend, the
Yeah.
NLW show. He was helped out by people. I'm not sure if they're going to be part of the Scrappermania team. There was a few people that helped them out at the end with Corvin and Bonesaw, Martina and Paddy Morrow and Lamo and all showed up. They raised his hand.
That was all after the match as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there was like he won the Rumble on his own.
Mm.
Props to the guy. Like he didn't have the help for in the
He didn't
actual
need it.
match.
He didn't need him to win
Yeah.
it. But afterwards,
But
stick him out there.
afterwards, yeah, the guys took a bit of liberties with him, carving and bounce on, and started put the beat down on him. And yeah, we did see the save with some familiar faces in Paddy, Martina, Limo, and a couple of others. But yeah, like two-time Rumble winner.
I know, yeah.
Be cool, you know, twice this year he's won Rumbles. He's becoming very proficient at these Rumbles, isn't he? Like,
He
so
is. And you also mentioned while you were there, there was a few mass strangers that showed up throughout that match. Like I know Justy had lost a match earlier in the show to CBL, and that made he was going to be the first entrant in the Rumble, so he had the disadvantage of coming out first. But
yeah.
we did have a couple of mass strangers throughout the Rumble making an appearance.
Yeah. So this guy came in 12th, wearing a mask, El Masco, long haired, guy. I don't know. I don't even know what his name was, but he looked very familiar. He wore his trunks up to his nips. He came down to the front of the ring and did this thing, and got into the ring and anyway and got thrown straight back out. And then another guy who looked exactly like this first guy, but he had a different color mask on and a different color trunks. He then ran back in and then he got thrown straight out. And then like 10 seconds later, another guy who looked exactly like the other two guys, same physique, same long hair, everything, just a different color mask, different pair of trunks. He came in and he got thrown out. But yeah, these mask guys, I genuinely don't know what their deal was. I don't know who they were.
They were all backstage pointing at each other doing the Spider-Man meme, right? They're all
Yeah, I went looking for them after the show and I couldn't see them anywhere. So they must have had a quick flight out.
vanished.
But I did like I don't think anyone saw them in the same room together. So
Interesting.
yeah, it was an odd one. There was a few pairs of trunks laying around on the ground and a couple of square masks and
People of Nace,
Justy was swanning around, cocking a walk as he
people of
does.
Nace, if you see a naked masked man running through the streets, don't call the cops. It's just wrestling.
Running down the road shouting Justy.
Um,
Yeah, it was fun though. It was
Brilliant.
very fun
Good
show.
shows. Good show. I did ask, I said it previously that we were going to reach out to all the promotions and get results of stuff, and I have reached out to the IWA, but I haven't heard anything back on regarding the results of that show that happened on Sunday. So if anybody has the results or knows what happened throughout that show, let me know in the comments. And all I know is MJ Ref showed up, and I know that Butch is still the champion, right?
Yeah. But I did see a picture of Butch, still IWA champion. So, yeah, I don't know any of the results. I haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone who was at the show. It was, as we said before, like it was a community show, part of their arts week or something like that, or their arts festival or something. So, I don't know if we will have anything coming out of that, or if we do hear anything, we'll send it on as soon as.
Okay, so this Sunday, July 14th, Sanity, the road to Scrappermania, your last stop, your last chance to get tickets. If you haven't already gotten your tickets and you are going to this show on Sunday, why wouldn't you be going to Scrappermania? Maybe you're going holidays or something. Cancel your holidays. You're not going to want to miss Scrappermania. And you might not want to miss this show on Sunday either, because there's there's four matches on the card advertised at the minute. We're presuming after we finish recording and editing this episode, Joe will put out something with 10 more matches.
Every fucking time.
Every time.
Every time. Like literally, we're going to finish this show and Joe's going to drop a match announcement.
I'm just glad we didn't record a show and then he dropped the Barry and Samy
Imagine
interview.
that had happened and we had to re-record it.
Oh,
Like,
imagine having to cancel everything and start again.
Terrible.
That would have been a nightmare. Never happens.
Yeah,
The
never.
wonders of television. So the four match card at the minute for the Sanity Show. We've got a tag team gauntlet match. Currently, only 3 teams advertised.
What
3
the
teams
fuck?
for a gauntlet
What
match.
the fuck? Why? How is there only 3 teams in a gauntlet match? Like
I don't
how?
know.
Like that? Like there has to be more teams added before Sunday or on Sunday. If there's not, like I genuinely don't know, because this is the craziest fucking booking I've ever seen. 3 team gauntlet. Like it's basically like the first two teams, it's basically what we were saying earlier on with Barry and Sammy. The first two teams, one of the teams is going to handicap themselves and going to go in. The next team's just going to come out seriously strong against the team that's a bit
Yeah.
deflated and pick up the pieces. So
Well, you got
whoever has
you got
that third entry, like,
two teams are an actual tag team, which is the Freshnas and BD,
yeah, yeah,
and then you've got Goldenboy Santos and Daragh, uh, as
Mammy's boys.
as the poll suggested, everybody wants, well, not everybody, but Mammy's Boys was the outright favorite for their tag team name. Whether they go with it or not, I'm not sure. But on this show, we'll call them the Mammy's Boys until we've heard otherwise.
Yeah.
So that's the three teams. They're not a tag team. They don't really get along. It's that old cliche of can they
Yeah,
coexist?
that's it. That's that strange bedfellows type team, and yeah, it's an odd
And
one. Like it's definitely one of them that like they could hinder each other in the match. You
yeah.
know that they don't just have their eyes set on the other team or teams. They have their eyes set on each other as well
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that nothing happens behind the other one's back. So yeah, it's we've seen a lot of that booking, and it's a strange one, but yeah, there needs to be more teams added
Yeah,
to this match for it
definitely.
to be called a
Well,
gauntlet
they
match.
haven't the stipulation is the gauntlet match, but there's no like there hasn't been announced whether the winner gets a title shot at Scrapper, right?
As far as I know, the winning team goes on to Scrappermania for the social elite.
All right.
It's been a while. This match was announced a while back,
Mm,
so as far as I know, that's the case. The winning team goes on. Don't quote me on this though.
quote
Like
him on it.
as soon as I finish recording this, I'm literally gonna go and watch the setup again to see. I probably should have done it beforehand, but yeah,
Yeah.
as far as I can remember, as far as I know, it's been employed or was stated that the winning team will have a tag
Okay.
match at Scrapper. So
We'll edit that in. We'll put it in if it does say it on that. We'll put it in right. No.
yeah, good luck to
Next up
everyone.
on the card we have Mr. Hype Kuro against sculpted Cian Noonan. More of a showcase match for two really talented wrestlers, two young talented wrestlers looking to get a win under their belt and you go higher up on the card, maybe challenge for a title sometime in the future. I know Kuro's challenged Samy in the past
Mhm.
for the OTT title, like, but as in non main shows, this is a chance for Kuro maybe to get a spot in Scrappermania, or maybe Kean gets a spot Scrapper.
Yeah, listen, I think this is a testament to both guys working their socks off. Kuro in France and around some other place in Europe, and Kean doing the majority in Ireland, but Kean is also starting the jet set
Yeah.
around Europe as well in a couple of spots. So, I think it's a testament to both guys that there's nothing on the line here, apart from the guys just trying to get that W, and it shows a lot of trust and for the likes of the promotion to be given these guys, two very young guys to be given this spot. Like we've seen the guys in the past, as you mentioned, Jerry, we've seen Kuro getting a shot at
Mm,
Samy. Again, he's in there with Samy, he's in there with an experienced hand. We've also seen Kean with Samy, and we've seen Kean with Robbie X as well, in there with the more experienced
yeah.
people. This time they don't have an experienced hand in there with them, but the trust is obviously there in both of them to be able to go out there and put on a great match. And I presume this is going to be a really quick, hot,
Mm,
really hyped match because the two styles I think are very similar and are going to mesh really well. They're two quick guys. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one,
yeah.
and fair play to the two guys being doing what they've been
Mm,
doing to be giving this spot here on a show like this, because like there's there's not an awful lot of spots to go around, and for these two guys to be
yeah.
given a singles match on a show like this, two young guys to go out there and put on a show is like it's pretty big for them to get this spot. So
100%.
I'm really happy for the two guys. I'm really looking forward to the match as well.
Yeah, should be good. Next up we have Sammy D and Man Like Dereiss. But, well, obviously this match was announced before the interview between Barry and Sammy,
Mhm.
but I'm not sure if there's going to be any implications on this match or if there's going to be any
I don't think that
shenanigans.
I don't think there'll be any implications, but like if you were Sammy, you'd absolutely be looking over your shoulder, wouldn't you? Like it's
Absolutely.
definitely like I think if something is gonna happen on the show in relation to what we've seen in the interview or in retaliation to what we've seen happen to Barry, this is where it's gonna
Yeah.
happen. It's gonna happen before, during, or after this match, and I'll be watching this one closely because I'll be waiting for that moment, and I think Sammy will be waiting for it as well because he's not stupid. Like, let's be fair.
No, no, absolutely.
But plays absolutely great into Dereiss's hands.
Yeah, but like at the last show, last show at the KFRC, the Trent and Dereiss, they were in the main event spot. Like, and Dereiss came up short, and he seemed really disgruntled. I'm going to say disgruntled. Like, he was really pissed off that he lost the
Yeah.
match. He wasn't really happy about it, and a certain Con Shucked was very happy of how things came about. So I know he's not currently advertised for the show, but I'm not sure if he's going to be floating around or if he's going to be
I
getting the
don't think
brunt of.
I don't think he'll be too far. Like, he may not be on the show, but he definitely won't be too far, and he'll be with the implications now, knowing that Sam is potentially going to the main at Scrapper. Will Con be standing in somebody's way here as well? So yeah,
Well,
there's a lot of threads running through.
when's the last time we saw Con? Was his mustache after getting bigger? Has he got the curls?
I haven't seen him since the last show, so yeah, I'm not too sure. I do think he needs to bite the bullet though at this stage and go all in and grow the beard out and go grey and grow his hair out and get the touch of grey or the silver fox look going. If he's so passionate, like I'm throwing the gauntlet down right now to Con Shocked. Like, if you're gonna go all in, go all in. I want to see long grey hair, long grey beard, and grey mustache. Like, you want to be like your idol. Get the grey dye out.
Big strong farmer boy from Calvin or Monaghan, where some part of up the parts of Ulster where nobody wants to go to, the flatlands and the lakes.
He'd be murdered looking like Trent Seven up there, wouldn't he? Though, like,
Imagine it. The last currently advertised match on the card, as we record, I'm sure Joe will add more tomorrow when I'm
yeah.
editing it. Sanity against Renzo Rose, Ilja, Zarkov, and Sem. We just want to wish you all the best in your future endeavors, who are about to die, those who are about to die at the hands of Sanity. It's going to be a really tough match for the three lads. I know we talked about it in the past, but it seems like Ilja is trying to take Sam under his wing. They're trying to convince Renzo that it's a good idea to continue teaming with them. They seem to be getting along, I'm going to say.
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? Like, they've had history, but they teamed up at the last show and got a win.
Got a win and shook hands.
So maybe like you're always going to be happy after a win. So was it just that, oh, the emphaticness of winning a match and the being excited from that put that in there? I don't know. It's a weird
Mm-hmm.
one, but Renzo is very hot and cold on the same. We've seen them go both ways. We've seen them go
Yeah.
extremely one way, extremely the other, and swapping back and forward. And um yeah, it's a strange dynamic because if you were the same, like, I don't know. Like, I was gonna say he's not stupid, but like, we don't know. He's wacky, he's wild. I don't even know
He's
what he is, never mind who he is, but
I'm going to say he's fearless. I don't think he's scared to take a beating. He's
no,
he's not
yeah.
scared to team up with these two who've continuously turned their backs on him. And
Yeah, but he also he like surely he has to be looking over his shoulder as well. Because
Mhm.
like he's got a beating from these guys before. He's been fucked
Yeah,
under the bus a couple of times by them,
he's
so it's
yeah. You know what he's like? He's like Martin Prince trying to make friends with Nelson in The Simpsons, and you know that scene where he's
yeah,
skipping
yeah,
around him. That's what
yeah,
Sam is. He's just like
yeah.
Nelson doesn't want anything to do with him, but he eventually ends up loving him, kind of thing. So I'm not
But
sure.
then let me just flip it on its head a second, because Renzo seems to be the one with the most to lose here,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because let's be fair, right? So this is a month out from Scrappermania. Um, Renzo and Damo was set up for aftermath Scrappermania week, so Damo's going to be out for blood here to soften
Mm-hmm.
up the NLW champ. So Renzo seems to have the most to lose, and he needs to be the one that's trusting Sam, it
Mm-hmm.
seems, rather than the other way around. It's not that Sam needs to trust them, it's that they need to trust the Sam now. So it throws that different dynamic in, and let's face it, like on paper, like Sanity is a machine unto itself, and these guys don't stand a hope in hell on paper.
On
But
paper.
wrestling isn't, it's not wrestled on paper, and
Yeah.
things don't happen on paper. So
It's
um
been a while since the three Sanity members have teamed up as well. So the chemistry, I know that it's probably a natural thing. The chemistry just comes back to them, but they haven't teamed up in a while. So maybe there is a disadvantage there that they've
yeah.
forgotten how to be Sanity as a trio. I know Damo and Axel are Progress tag team champions, and they're going out killing people around the world. So
hmm
their chemistry is already there. But maybe Eric Young has forgotten how they team with the lads. So who knows?
Yeah, it correct me if I'm wrong. The last time that Damo and Eric were together, they were beating the shit out of each other. Is that right?
Yeah, on TNA
Yeah, in
actually. Yeah,
TNA,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah, like that we know that, like, like, listen, you have that relationship where you're a team together, but you can also get in and beat the shit out of each other, like, be two
Yeah,
big strong boys. So it's
absolutely no fear beating the crap out of each other.
yeah, I'd say they love that. But yeah, like, listen, it's like I just say don't count out Renzo, because Renzo, out of the three of these guys, and I don't mean to disrespect Ilya or Sam in this in any way, shape, or form, but Renzo he's shit hot, and
Hmm.
he has been picking up a lot of wins
By
legally or
any by any
illegally,
by
yeah.
any means necessary.
But he's been doing what he's needed to
Yeah.
do, and he is becoming a force unto himself. So I just, you can't ever write out Renzo.
No,
Like, you
never.
even though we said look at these on paper, like the three the two Italians and the fella from, we don't know where the hell he's from, they're probably 300 pound
Soaking
away,
wet.
like like away from these guys, like, like there's they probably make up one and a half demos,
Demo
so
Demo weighs more than the three of them.
yeah, probably. So, as I said, on paper, it's a hard contest for them, and I can only see one result. But then
Mm.
on the other side, I know that Renzo is so conniving, and he's cerebral. He's the
Oh yeah.
cerebral, like, he's the cerebral assassin of Irish wrestling. That, like, it wouldn't surprise me if he managed to pull one out of the bag here, So, the one thing though is that I'm really really looking forward to it. I've been looking forward to Sanity getting back together for
Yeah.
a long time. We had Axel and Eric over together. We've had Axel and Damo together. We haven't had the three boys together,
Yeah.
So it's something that myself and a lot of other fans have been itching for a long time, and it's great that we're actually getting the three of them together.
Yeah.
And if you're like me, if you were a fan of the guys in their I was gonna say the WWE run, let's face that WWE run was a bit shit. Their
Well,
NXT run,
the
yeah.
black and gold NXT, because
Their NXT run was fierce and
they were
dominant and brilliant.
they were
Yeah,
over in NXT,
yeah.
and
Uh,
madness,
terribly used on
terrible,
WWE.
terrible.
But if like me, you were a fan of them, for NXT, you'll be really looking forward to seeing
Yeah.
them in person. But yeah, roll on Sunday. I can't
Let's do
fucking wait
it.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the show, lads. If you are going to Sanity Show on Sunday, let us know in the comments, or we'll see you there. We'll say hello, or make sure you say hello to us. Let us know who you think is going to be on Be Cool's team for Scrappermania. Who you think's going to win? If there's going to be any surprises or anybody that you're not expecting, or any fantasy booking you have. We'll be sure to reply to the comments. We've already said who we want there. We definitely want Justy, and whoever else. I can't wait for the does somebody say Just Eat coming out as a big surprise at Scrappermania in front of 2,000 people. Imagine the fucking ovation he'll get. I mean, it's been a while since he's been in the stadium, so I think it's about 10 years
I
back.
think the place would explode.
I think it'll like
the
go,
place would
man.
explode.
And keep it a surprise. Don't tell nobody.
Yeah.
So come on, Justy. As always, lads, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you Sunday if you're there, and we'll not, we'll see you at Scrappermania. Bye, guys.